Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So in this video, I'll be showing you guys how to create a subscribe form. Okay, that's a subscription form. Let's say you have a newsletter for your website and you want to gather viewers. You want your viewers to subscribe to your website. So for that, today we will be creating a subscription form with the help of HTML, CSS, and I'll be also showing you how to style your CSS with the help of JavaScript as well. Okay, like the whole subscription form should be a stylized one, and it should give a message like thank you for subscription, like this. Okay, so before getting started, if you are new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and stay tuned till the end of the video. You'll be able to see the perfect output for this particular program. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, we'll start with the HTML. So to start with the HTML, you guys know what we have to do. So doc type and then HTML. Okay, next what we have to do now we have to tell the HTML the language, because we are now using the JavaScript over here. So I'll be telling the language. It should be in a form of EN, which stands for English. Okay, now let's go ahead and get the header part. So what to do with the header? Now here in the header, what we want the content of this particular program is we want the subscription form, right? So because in this particular program, in this particular coding, we are using the JavaScript. So in the header, you have to mention like what is your meta name, what is the content, what should be the width of your whole subscription form. Those things we will mention inside the header part. Okay, so first we will use the tag which is called as meta. Okay, so meta, and then if you see the character set, it already took UTF-8. Okay, and next we will enter the meta name. Okay, that's again a tag. Okay, so meta name, what we will enter over here. So we will enter over here viewport. Okay, like how you want to view the subscription form. Okay, and what should be the content inside the subscription form. Okay, so the content which I want, the width should be, you should have a width. So let's say I give the width as whatever device you are using, like laptop, like the mobile, whichever version you are viewing the subscription form, it will take like that if you're using a device width. And then I'll be giving the scaling as well for this one. Okay, so you can give it according to your choice. So that is initial scale. Okay, so I'll just give suppose 1.0. Okay, so these all things come under the header part. Fine. Now next what you have to do is, now that we have mentioned the header, okay, our header should look like this. Okay, like since we are using the JavaScript, these two line of code have been used for that. Now next you have to mention the title of your subscription form, and you have to also style your subscription form, right? So for that, what we have to do, the next, suppose I'll take title tag. Okay, and inside the title tag I'll just write subscription form. Okay, next I have to style it. So for styling we will be using the CSS, right? So I'll just write style, and so style tag, and inside it I'll be mentioning the body part. Okay, like how our CSS should look like. So inside the body, you have to first of all start with the what kind of font you are taking. So I'll just take the font. So font family, and then the font family I'll take it as Arial, which I take always, and then sans serif. Okay, that's my font family. Now next, what you have to do, you have to start with the container, because the form will be looking somewhat like this. Like this would be a form, okay, and there will be like enter your email address one place, and there would be another place wherein you have to enter your email address, and then thank you for subscription should come up right underneath your email address. Okay, this form would look something like this. Fine. So for that, so this particular, the square which I showed right now, so that's a kind of container in which you have to put your subscription form, right? So for that, we have to style the container. So for that, we'll start with dot container. Okay. So inside dot container, I have to give the maximum width and everything. So let's say the maximum width, I take it as 400 px, and then I'll give the margin, and I also give the text alignment. Okay, so margin, I just give it as 0, and it can be like automatically adjusted. And after that, you have to give the text alignment. So text alignment, I'll give it as, let's say, center. Okay. Now next, what you have to do is, now this container part is done. Now you have inside the container part, you need to have the subscribe form, right? So for that, what you have to do, just go to the next line, and then let's say subscribe -form. Okay. And how your subscribe form should look like, what is the border, what is the padding and everything. So you have to enter all those things over here. So that's called styling with the help of CSS. So suppose I enter the border. Okay, so let's say the border is, I'll take 2 pixel, and it should be solid. Okay, and next I'll go for the padding. So let's keep it at this. This is a standard size. You can change it like according to your choice, how big or how small you want to show the form inside the particular container. Okay, and the border, I'll also give some radius to it. Okay, so border radius. So for that, I'll just use 10 pixels. Okay, now our subscribe form is done. So next, what comes up? Next comes up the input. What input should be there inside the subscription form, right? So let me give that as subscribe form input. Okay, and input should be in a form of an email address, right? So we'll just write type, and then inside that we'll write email. Okay, so now you have to make sure like what should be the width and everything for your subscribe form, like wherein you enter your email. So let us take the width as 100%. Okay, and then padding. So I'll take padding as 10 px, and then the margin, and at last I'll just give some radius to the border. Okay, so let's take us as 5 px. Okay, so that's these part are done for the subscribe form and the subscribe form input, like what kind of input you will give. Now next comes up the button. We have to create a button like wherein user can click on the subscribe button, and then they can subscribe. So for that we have to create a button. So let's write subscribe button. Okay, and inside that you have to mention like what features of the subscribe button are, like what should be the background color, what should be the padding, the border, there should be a pointer like the cursor which should point. Okay, so let's give the background color as, suppose I'll just give, okay, so this basically stands for green color. And then next I'll go for color which shows white. Okay, and then I'll go for the padding. So let's keep it as 10 px and 20 px, so width and height both together. And then after that, I don't want any border for that, so I'll just give none. Okay, and then a border radius I want, so border radius we can keep it as 5 px. Again, it depends on your choice, like what size or radius you want to give. Okay, and then the cursor part. So cursor, I want a pointer to be shown there. Okay, so I'll keep it as a pointer. Okay, now this is done. Now next, what I want a message to be displayed that yes, you have successfully subscribed. Okay, so for that, what you have to do is you have to just enter the margin inside it. So there is a margin top, okay, and margin, the weight, the font. Okay, so 10 px, let's say this is, and let's say the font weight is, I'll keep it as bold. Okay, so now these are done. Now what you have to do is, our styling is done. You have to close the style, right? So we'll close the styling. Okay, and then what you have to do is you have to close the header as well. So I'll close the header. Okay, so style is closed, header is closed. Fine. Yes, so now next what you have to do is you have to go ahead and go for the div container, like what should be your subscription form like and everything. So that comes inside your body part, right? So that's the body part. So for that, what you have to do is you have to go for, let's say I'll write body, and I'll write div and then class. So it should be a form of a container. So I'm basically calling whatever I have mentioned right over here, the container and everything. Okay, so next I'll be also mentioning the div ID and then subscribe form. Okay, this also I am calling. Okay, so what you can do, you can mention it right over here and then this. Fine, so these are the two. And next what you have to do is you have to just put a header. Let's say I take it as header 2, and then let's say I write subscribe to our form. Okay, and then just close the header. Okay, and then the type of your input type should be also called over here. So I'll just take input type and then I'll take it as email, and then ID, this I'll take it also as email. Okay, and next your placeholder. So for that, what you can do, you can just write let's say your email. Okay, and you just have to close it, and then after that you can just write button, because we will be using a button. So I'll just write button ID and then subscribe button. I'll just select this one from here. Okay, and just write subscribe and close the button. Okay, so now next what comes up, you have to just display this particular message, right? So we can enter it inside a p tag for that, and you can just enter message and So now that our message and our button and the styling head, everything is done, so we close the div. Now next what we have to do, since we have to create the JavaScript for it, so this would be the JavaScript which is like doc.get element by id. That means our id is subscribe dash button, okay, and the dot event listener, so this is another element in the JavaScript which will listen the click, okay, like when the user will click on the the subscribe button, then only it will show the message that yes, you have been subscribed. And the document.get element by id, so here is the element which I am putting into the JavaScript, so that is email and message, okay, so these are the element. And then inside the JavaScript, so you will be starting the JavaScript with script, and then inside that you have to write the condition for the email validation, okay. So how to write the condition? So you can just write, if your email includes an @, then yes, please enter a valid if it doesn't include it, the @, then it's an invalid email address, so it will display a message like please enter a valid email address, okay. And the color you can give according to your choice, okay. And if it is a valid email address, then it will show you the message like thank you for subscription, and then you can do the styling like message.style.color is for like green, red, blue, anyone you can set it, okay. So this is how the whole program will look like. Now let's save it and quickly go ahead and see how the output look like, okay. So I'll just show you how it looks. Fine, so if you see, this is the output, how it will look, okay. So subscribe to our newsletter, this is what will come up, this is what we did. So here you can just write, suppose I take the email address as this, and you can just click on subscribe, and then you can see the output like it says thank you for subscribing with this email address, okay. So this is how your whole program looks like, and this is the output what we got, okay. The output, if I show you again, this is the output which you will get, okay. So you can do the customization according to your choice, okay. And so that's it for this particular video, guys. So if you feel this video was informative and helpful for you, please go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for latest videos on coding. And please comment down in the comment box if you need any help in any of your coding project or anywhere in your career. So thank you so much guys for watching. We'll come up with the next video very soon, and don't forget to subscribe to catch on to the next video. Thank you.